And it's like that. Kim is the queen. I mean, read in between the lines what you want it to be. It is what it is. Kim is.
Furthermore, and it resembles that Kim is the sovereign, set out to find the real story which you maintain, that it should be what will be Kim is the sovereign, and I love Kim my situation on him. He was never a mentor brother you comprehend he was in the midst of the musical reverberations of a 9S rap 1, illuminating presence outshone the rest Lil Kim, her rising from the cover of Famous Huge's mentorship to her rule as a hip bounce symbol, has painted her excursion in striking G-strokes yet, as the spotlight glimmers onto Diddy and trapped in a legitimate entanglement Lil Kim's unforeseen job in this show, has people talking could jump into the core of this exciting adventure where Lil Kim, the sovereign of rap, becomes the overwhelming focus by and by late murmurs imply. Her ownership of a mother load of giving and taking photographs highlighting Diddy in questionable ventures as we explore through Lil Kim's disclosures, the situation starts to get interesting disentangling. A story of influence struggle and a snare of privileged insights anyway. Lil Kim's story stretches out past this flow, conflict her compelling vocation set apart by the presentation collection. No Nonsense in 1996 slung her into the stratosphere of style and expressive strength. The wild universe of rap conflicts are unavoidable, and Lil Kim dealt with them directly, fighting with any semblance of Charming Brown and Nicki Minaj, yet the core of our story lies in Lil Kim's mind-boggling relationship. Transport with Diddy, a unique molded by their common association with the unbelievable famous enormous from colleagues to compatriots Lil Kim and Diddy's process, follows back to Biggie's disclosure of the rap wonder. During Brooklyn Road fights, Diddy's underlying distrust gave way to coordinated effort. At this point, Lil Kim's platinum accomplishment with Bad to the Bone didn't get her a spot on Terrible Kid Records. Puffy got me some lovely jewel studs, and they are delightful, their relationship. Saw peaks and box arriving at in a dear when Diddy Lil Kim's tutor embraced Nicki Minaj in 2010. The Fishers developed as Nicki took a hit at Lil Kim on Diddy's own track High Great Daytime, leaving Lil Kim unvisited during her 2005-2006 detainment. Regardless of feeling let down, a similarity to compromise arose during the Awful Kid family gathering visit in 2016, a festival of their common history. Dislike her. She needed to be the main female out there, so when Child and them said we're not with it, cuz you can't remain close to her. She cherished it yet. The tempest mists waited. Lil Kim's discontent with Diddy stewed underneath the surface, and everything came spilling out in a noteworthy meeting with Atlanta radio personality Ryan Cameron. She uncovered her hearing her complaints with both Diddy and Child, naming them as critical if supporters of her continuous strife. Child attempted to connect 100 times, Puffy attempted to connect, yet I feel like both of those two were a major significant contributor to the issue, so it was actually nothing to discuss. Lil Kim declared laying be her disappointment. I believe it's she needed to be out there without help from anyone else. I think the injury sets ladies against one another all the time they do. That is precisely exact thing happens. CRS of her discontent with Diddy rotates around an apparent absence of unwaveringness. Lil Kim related insts, where Diddy would mediate to forestall the arrival of hostile substance in the past, yet despite her momentum quandary, he appeared to be unconcerned, permitting her complaints to rot unrestrained. He never truly failed to help me. I mean, when we were coming up here, you realized we needed to get things done for one another, yet like I judge by what happened subsequently, she regretted, highlighting an unmistakable difference in their relationship. Did's clarification crediting Lil Kim's discontent to his craving to work together with another female craftsman drew her eyes. She excused it. Tia's crazy, calling attention to his set of experiences of working with other female specialists. Without issue, the strain arrived at its pinnacle, establishing the groundwork for a quiet deadlock between the two. Inquiry is that I love Kim, I love Little Kim, regardless of what's happening, regardless of what's being said. Kim is certainly has an obligation from their compromise at the 2015 BET Grants, darkened the breaks temporary, yet hypothesis among fans endures filled by Lil Kim's unexpected quietness. Since citing inquiries concerning the idea of her relationship with Diddy, Lil Kim Quiet, once seen as a simple respite in the tempest, currently brings up issues, much the same as the murmurs encompassing Diddy's previous ensnarement, with Cassie reports murmur that Diddy could have applied impact to keep her calm, reflecting his supposed activities with Cassie. The situation starts to get interesting with Cassie's claim against Diddy documented on November 16, blaming the hip-hop tycoon for attack and a very long-term example of misuse that started when she was only 19. The lawful recording illustrates Diddy's supposed control and viciousness, with allegations going from sexual battery to sex stealing. Cassie's cases recommend a pattern of misuse, affirming that Diddy applied unlimited oversight over her life, from her condo to her clinical records, to hold her powerless to resist him. So she guarantees she attempted to leave a few times, yet Diddy would constantly send his group to find her, track her down, bring her back, under the premise that her profession would be demolished in the event that she left. The claim subtleties an upsetting account where Diddy's controlling way of behaving purportedly raised to demonstrations of terrorizing, including exploding a man's vehicle and hanging a companion over a 17th floor gallery. The cases depict an unstable relationship where dread turned into an incredible asset, keeping Cassie from looking for help from policing each part of her life. He is blamed Ahmed for regularly beating her and would conceal her in lodgings for quite a long time until the swelling and indications of misuse were gone. The interest develops as fans hypothesize on Lil' Kim's ownership of supposed proof, setting off her quiet. A murmur in the breeze proposes compromising photographs catching Diddy in sketchy exercises suggestive of a shameful contact with a little kid, as the cadenced reverberations of 90s WAP keep on resonating. Another layer of captivated covers the Lil' Kim and Diddy adventure. A trap of hypothesis interweaves their accounts, passing on fans to contemplate whether Lil' Kim's quiet disposition is a consequence of coercion or concealment. In the shadows of Lil' Kim's quietness lies the frightful revelation of Diddy's set of experiences with Cassie. The planning of the repayment among Diddy and Cassie a day after her claim was documented adds a strange wind to the unfurling show. The equals are uncanny, the two ladies once laced with Diddy picking friendly goals. Cassie's assertion alludes to a degree of control she looked for, an obscure string associating her account to Lil' Kim's baffling quietness. You know, anything I do is through affection. That is what I developed to be. And that is the thing I'm doing right now. You feel me anyway. The allegation against Diddy reach out past Cassie, with various informers venturing forward following the underlying claim. The planning of these claims corresponds with the lapse of the Grown Up Survivors Act transitory, lifting the legal time limit for overcomers of sexual maltreatment. The torrential slide of legitimate activities, each specifying comparable cases of misuse, makes a difficult scene for Diddy's representative. Fervently denies the charges, ascribing them to creation and depicting them as a cash snatch. The reaction repeating comparative dissents from other high-profile figures confronting claims adds one more layer of intricacy to the unfurling dramatization. The 35-page suit spreads out realistic claims, all of which, through his lawyer, he denies. The story turns into a milestone of words, with informers looking for equity and the denounced utilizing refusal as their weapon. The reaction from individual craftsmen mirrors the weightiness of the circumstance. Vocalist musician Tiffany Red distributes an open letter to Diddy in Drifter, certifying Cassie's cases and adding her voice to the developing chorale of those looking for equity. 50 Penny Burns through no time in reporting a documentary about Diddy's rape claims, stressing that the returns will go to casualties of sexual. The business, it appears, is wrestling with its own evil spirits, with specialists picking sides and standing in opposition to a background of upsetting disclosures. Kesha, in an emblematic demonstration, changes the verses of her 2009 hit TikTok in light of the claims against Diddy. The tune, which initially opened with the line "Get up toward the beginning of the day, feeling like P. Diddy," presently conveys an alternate tone, flagging a change in the view of the once unapproachable figure. Different specialists, including previous Danity stick part Ario Day and her bandmate Ware Richard Express, help for Cassie, further enhancing the aggregate voice against maltreatment in the business. The claim against Diddy opens a Pandora's crate, uncovering the supposed maltreatments as well as the complicity inside the business. Cassie's cases recommend that Diddy staff and representatives saw beatings yet decided to stay quiet, featuring a culture of dread and terrorizing. The snare of quiet extends past individual connections, enveloping an organization of enterprises